Weekend sports action from the punitive and rugged roots of Naivasha, where a man battled machine in a fierce race for supremacy, birthing a new champion in Elvin Evans, to here in Nairobi, where success-starved and football-hungry fans throng the 30,000-seater Nyayo National Stadium to the rafters, the contest ending in a painful 2-1 defeat for a pregnant nation. Sporty Monday brings you a detailed analysis of the weekend that was. But it is not just that. Swila's shot will pull the trigger on the national team Harambee Stars setup and why it needs to be rebooted if the dream of gracing the 2030 World Cup is to be attained. Bruce Amani will give us insights on the German national team, the Mannschaft, in incisive conversations with Steve Schitterer. In Lausanne, Switzerland, the seat of power for the International Olympics Committee, there is a new sheriff in the frame of the 41-year-old Kirsty Coventry, breaking the glass ceiling yet again. We will tell you how. Welcome to the program. My name is Isaac Twila Tijan. But first things first, we cross over to the scoreboard, where a well-rested Ziti Jimo is back and ready to break it down for us. Ziti, what should we expect?
Thank you so much, Sila. Of course, on this side, we will be telling you how the East African teams are doing in the World Cup qualifiers. And again, giving you who is the standing player for the UEFA Champions League. So don't go away, just stay tuned, and we'll bring you more on this. Back to you, Sila.
Absolutely. We'll have to keep time and make time for that, basically. And of course, my panelists, Steve Schitterer, Jacob is here, and ex-international Boniface Ambani make the panel today, and they'll be breaking it down for us. But first things first, the question of the day. Today we are asking you, what do you think needs to be done? What do you think needs, what are the changes you think needs to be made in the national team Harambee Stars? What changes would you want to see in the national football team Harambee Stars? Send your feedback to 22422, hashtag Sporty Monday. We are also on Facebook and X, where you can also X us at ZTGMoi, at Citizen TV Kenya, at Isaac Swila. And of course, we will be sampling some of them during this program. And now to our top story, 2 goals from former Arsenal talisman Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang technically ended Harambee Stars' hopes of a first-ever World Cup qualification as the Stars fell 2-1 at a sold-out Nyayo National Stadium. Steve Schitterer was in attendance and now looks at where the Stars could have gone wrong.
After 4 years, fans finally returned to the refurbished Nyayo National Stadium. The last time they witnessed a Harambee Stars home game was a 2-1 win over Rwanda on November 15th, 2021, a 2022 World Cup qualifier.
Nirauka sana sababu hii game nilikuwa nimeingoja sana for a very long time. Alafu Nyayo ilikuwa imefungwa. Tunataka tuifungue kwa mambwembwe. Mafans wamemiss grao sana. Sasa hivi unaona vile ni saa 6 na grao already shaja.
From all walks of life, fans thronged the stadium, hoping that Benny McCarthy's side will produce a memorable homecoming. The atmosphere was electric. But a wasteful forward line led by Captain Michael Olunga failed to make their chances count. Their missed opportunities proved costly.
Gabon looking to change that here. Kanga finds Aubameyang, and Aubameyang buries it.
When Gabonese target man Aubameyang latched onto a Gela Kanga through ball, clinically slotting past goalkeeper Ian Otieno in the 15th minute. The overflowing 30,000 capacity stadium left stunned in the 62nd minute.
It's Aubameyang, and it's 2.
When Aubameyang converted a penalty after Eric Marcelo Uma was adjudged to have handled the ball in the box.
Nice flick, Uma. Uma gets away. Uma's cross, Olunga!
Harambee Stars pulled one back through Captain Michael Olunga, latching onto an Ouma inviting cross, igniting hope. But the introductions of John Ayunga and Masoud Juma were not enough to spark a comeback.
Onyango and a younger.
McCarthy's home debut ended in disappointment.
Them as a team, they had more togetherness than what we had. I've only been here a very short while, and there's so much you can try and change, but you're never going to get how you really want to be or where you want to be in only 1 week with the team. You know, so it was difficult, and we are grateful for the support, the people of Kenya that came out to support. Wow, this was the most memorable experience I've experienced, even in my time playing as a player, playing in Europe. This was what Africa should be about. It was just beautiful, but unfortunately we couldn't give the fans that joy, to give them a win, something to celebrate.
We wanted to win, and then we said if you cannot win, we have to draw at least. So fortunately for us, we had a win today. So we're happy because of, as you know, the World Cup qualifier is tough. And then since we started, it's our first time to play in that kind of stadium.
With AFCON 2025 dreams over and the road to the 2026 FIFA World Cup in the Americas now dimmed, what next for Harambee Stars?
What we can promise is we will improve, we will get better, and they will have a team that they can be very proud of.
Currently placed 108th in the FIFA rankings, Kenya's only confirmed tournament is the CHAN 2025, where they qualify automatically by virtue of being co-hosts alongside Uganda and Tanzania. However, unlike Kenya, both Uganda and Tanzania have already secured spots in the AFCON 2025, set to be hosted in Morocco later this year. For FKF boss Hussein Mohammed and coach Benny McCarthy, the challenge is clear: rebuild and revive Harambee Stars for future success. Steve Shitera for Sporty Monday, Nairobi.
Rebuild Harambee Stars, if at all they are to make it to 2030 World Cup. 2026 up in smoke. AFCON, well, that's as well gone. Bonnie, I'll begin with you. Ex-international, you're on the pitch, you played the ball, chances were created, quite a number of them yesterday. We couldn't really convert them. Is the AFCON dream up in smoke, as we've said?
Is it World Cup?
The World Cup dream, rather.
Yeah, to me, to be realistic, it's in smokes, and we just have to accept. Now we have to build this chance that's coming here. So to me, maybe the only advice maybe I can give to the coach is just to concentrate on CHAN. We go local. We try to get the best in the local league so that at least we build on it. Let him give these locals that international exposure. So by the time we get to CHAN, I think we'll be there.
Still staying with you, you were on the pitch as most of us were.
Yeah.
The second half, Harambee Stars really came to life. Quite a number of crosses in the box. We couldn't convert them. Of course, Olunga scored one, but two which really didn't go in. What do you think needs to be done from a striker's perspective? You've been there, you've won that shoe, you've played in such kind of matches. What should Benny address going forward, more so in the attacking department?
I think Benny himself is a striker. He's a former striker, so I'm 100% sure that he knows what he's supposed to do with the team. He knows who he's supposed to pick again. Like in yesterday's match, okay, to me, let me go back to the match he played, the last match. It was against
Gambia.
Yeah. We also had several scoring chances. We did not capitalize on them. And then again yesterday, same thing. I think also the technical bench and Benny himself, I think they succumbs to pressure of fans. Yeah. To me, it could have been wise if he could have just gone with the squad that he used in the match against Gambia. And bring in the firepower of the substitution that he used were in Gambia. So I think maybe on social media, everybody was saying that the team that played in Gambia is the second half is the team that's supposed to start. So when I went to the stadium yesterday, I saw the same thing that actually it happened. I think succumbing to pressure of fans sometimes is not all that good. You as a coach, you have to know what actually you want. You need to have that depth on the bench, and the depth on the bench or the firepower of those guys who went in the second half in Gambia. So yesterday I was expecting the same thing to happen, but unfortunately we lost at home fighting. But again, it's a learning experience to him. For Benny, it's his first time.
Shitera, you filed that report, but from where you sit, where did we lose this? Because the Gabonese now top the group after picking maximum points in Nairobi. It's basically gone. Where do you think we missed our steps?
I think the striking department really slept yesterday against Zambia again. Because as Ambani says, we really need to find a competitive number 9 to compete with Michael Olunga. The over-reliance on Olunga, I think, is too much. Unlike when we relied on Oliech delivered. You saw the difference between Aubameyang and Olunga. Gets one opportunity, it's a goal. And Olunga really had several scoring chances, but he wasted. In Gambia, the same thing happened. And I think for Benny McCarthy, he has really put up a really beautiful team. I'm hopeful because the game we played, the midfield marshaled by Odada, the young Bajaber on the left really gave those Gabonese a run for their money. You saw the faults that came out of his runs on the left. So I'm hopeful with that team. Let him put up a young team, as he says. Bajaber is a local player playing for Kenya Police. Let us look for local talented players, strikers included. The goalkeeping department, I think it's an improvement from what we've been having in the past. I think, to me, it's a plus. We were a bit of ambitious because it's like putting a class 5 student to a KCSE exam.
So how are we ambitious with the World Cup dream or beating Gabon? Over-ambitious
because we just lost AFCON qualifiers last year. And we were hoping that we could make it to the World Cup.
So World Cup was a tall order for you?
It's a tall order. Let's start, as he says, he has really summarized very well. Let us start with Chan. Then move to AFCON 2027. We can try World Cup 2030.
Is here coming tactical formation? What do you address going forward? Of course, we all agree we were not up to scratch in all these matches. What should now Benny address going forward? Because every time these dreams go up in smoke, it has always been we go back to the drawing board. We go back to the drawing board, but it's not birthing any results.
First, I want to be kind to Olunga because yesterday was a little unlucky. You see, you know, sometimes, as Shitera says, he says you can just have a chance at score. Sometimes you get it, you see, you hit the post, and you would have made it 2-0 at a point. But this is what I'm thinking that Benny should address going forward. Number one, he has found a team that was already in the qualifiers midway from Engin Firat. And therefore, he was taking a project, and we need to be kind to him again that he has been with the team only for a week or so. Now, the issue of concentrating on building his own team based on whatever good that we have, whether locally or even outside. When Engin Firat came, I know people don't have very good memories about him, but he brought us some players that even Benny gave an order yesterday and the other game against Gambia. Look at Daniel Anyembe. Though I didn't like his composure in the 2 matches that we have played last week and coming to this weekend. So we also want to see what Benny is going to give us at the end of the day. At least we have seen this boy, Lenkupai. He's also very promising. We want to believe that going into maybe by the end of the year, we are going to see new products coming from Benny. That is number one, because the problem we're talking about here is striking, But also we must ask the idea of creativity, you know, in the midfield going to the attack. When Engin Firat was here, was always saying that Olunga is a good player, he will score goals for you, but we are lacking in creativity. And I want to believe it is the same problem we're having now, because apart from Eric Ouma, Marcelo, who would overlap and have a one-on-one that is clear, that he can take on defenders one-on-one and win something, we were not doing well there. The 4 changes that Benny made yesterday, and I want to concur really with what Ambani has said, our legend here, that maybe it was really a lot of pressure on boys like Bajaber playing from the starting 11 in a fully packed Nyayo stadium, not fully packed, just fully packed, but overflowing in your stadium. Maybe it would have been easier if it was to come on in the second half, or maybe something like that. But ideally, we have seen something new that is coming with Benny. But I also need to mention this, that when when Benny was talking in the post-match press conference, he said that Gor Mahia refused with the players. He needed players to come so that he sees them. And he said it's very possible that there are better players, many better players who he would have fielded that he never saw. Going forward, especially with Chan, because we are not talking about Chan, we will need a lot of cooperation from clubs and the federation, so that we give our coach, Benny, a chance to see all our potential players for
Absolutely.
the national team.
Zita, before we wrap up this topic, huge fan attendance, and basically understandably so. The first game we are playing at home in 3-4 years, as Chitera alluded to in his report. Nyayo was overflowing. Actually, it was not 30,000 seater. That would have been around 40,000. Because even the VIP, you couldn't get even a space to stand. But the importance of fan support in such like fixtures.
I think the 12th man is very, he's always important in such competition, because you can see how for the first time I saw 3, I think the ball flowing, 3 touches, 4 touches from Kenyan players. Like kitu yenye tuko tunaona tu tunapiga mbele tuende tukafunge, but there was touches here and there. And then something else is as I talk about what Isia was saying, there's the overlapping of Marcelo. He needs to have someone who comes back and help him in defense, because you can see most of even the goals we got from, it was from his side. When he overlaps, there's no one comes to cover him when he
good insight. Sorry for coming in, but answer it with this. The question is, should we deploy Marcelo as a left back or as an number 11? Where is he more effective? There's that question.
He's good in defense. He's good in overlapping. He needs to have someone, when he goes, someone to come as a fallback to come and help him when he overlaps. So that is the only thing that I was taking a mistake, because when he goes, most of the goals even you see in Gambia came from there, because akienda hakuna mtu anakuja kumfanya nini cover up. So we need to work on that. Then something else, we need to work again in our defense. As much as we've talked about the striking force at the midfield, there's a midfield thing whereby there's kuna relaxant kidogo, and then we need to work on that. And again, our defense, we really need to work on our defense, and we need to support even the coach. But the 12th month coming to the stadium, that was massive. I was there in the morning by 11. There are people who came from Kitale. There are people who came from Masailand. There are people who came
by
from all
12 p.m. that stadium was already full.
Yes, I was there by 10, but by 12 the stadium was full.
Ambani, in 30 seconds before we shift gears, where do we deploy Marcelo? For me, I saw a live wire in the second half. Very troublesome crosses. Can't we probably say going forward, we get probably 2 options in left back and move Marcelo in advanced role?
No, I wouldn't go for that. Marcelo, let him play in his position. That's where he does it best, yeah?
But how do we cover?
But now it's done in training. These things are done in training. You just need to train the central defenders. Or the defensive midfielder. When this guy is up, you have to switch your roles, okay? Yeah. So this is automatically, when Marcelo is up, there's 2 central defenders. They have to cover. It's automatical. So the issue of maybe deploying Marcelo up front, or maybe on the wings.
Training ground staff.
They can borrow a trick from Chelsea. You see Kukurea is a left back, just like Marcelo. But of late, he's been depended on by Maresca for scoring goals. And he has modified the defense in that Levi Colwill is a centre-back, but he's a natural left-footer. So we could have such a formation where you have a centre-back who can fall back in the left
when he advances,
and play him as a wing-back. When he attacks, he can fall back, but you have that free role.
You need to mention very fast that also Benny was also unlucky that he never got to play with Joseph Stanley Okumu in the centre-back. Because in those two matches, Gambia and Gabon yesterday, if Okumu was in that centre-back with the kind of composure talking about, maybe that space we are referring to here.
And you see, again, we are modifying Marcelo because we are missing Ayub Timbe. Yeah, with the presence of Ayub Timbe, I think that left wing is troublesome. And
let's give the coach his flowers. He said in the first interview that the team he has now, alichaguliwa. So he was very.
Okay.
Yes, definitely.
For now, Benny, of course, he has a lot of support. And we are looking forward to next game. And, of course, we'll be glad to see Joseph Stanley Crouch in that central.